Welcome back. All right. So just the one game in the National Hockey League tonight between the Coyotes and the Senators, and it was a hockey game. If you're paying attention to this from a point of view of how about the draft lottery, so right now the Senators have 47 points. The Coyotes are now up to 42. So I mean, if that matters to people, the draft lottery odds, Arizona seems to not care about making the worst for themselves because players don't care about that kind of thing. But yeah, this was a very interesting game in that the score doesn't tell you what happened in this game. So let's go through it. It's Wedgwood versus Gustafson. Near miss for White early on at the Arizona net. Good rushes for both teams. Gambrell has a rush chance then that's saved, but Norris on a Gostisbehere turnover, he scores from Tkachuk at 2:39. That's only the third shot for the Ottawa Senators. Sens then pressed for another. Ghost was stuck on the ice for over 2 minutes, about 2.5 minutes. He was stuck on the ice there before they finally got a whistle on a Wedgwood save. Shots are 8-1 for Ottawa at 7.5 minutes. It looked like this was just going to be a blowout in favor of Ottawa, but they couldn't get another one past Wedgwood at this point. Kelly has a net drive defended. The puck goes the other way. And on Arizona's second shot, they score. It's Krause from Kessel at 7:49. Really nice pass by Kessel. Krause kind of left alone there, and he scores. Sens try to answer. Coyotes get a power play. And so that negates what was going to be a goal for the Senators. The puck goes in. It's a goal, but there's a penalty on the play. So no goal. Early, very quickly, the Sens didn't touch the puck. Power play goal for Arizona to take the lead. It's Krause from Gostisbehere and Keller at 9 minutes. So within a minute and 11 seconds, it goes from 1-0 Ottawa to 2-1 in favor of the Arizona Coyotes, and that was only their third shot of the game. So they had a shooting percentage of 66.67 at that point. Coyotes, momentum, puck luck definitely on their side as well at this point. Coyotes get another power play, which was brought to you by Kit Kat Chunky. I think one of the weirdest things in sports is everything needs a corporate sponsor, including power plays. I find that strange. I do. I find it odd. And I guess if you want to monetize anything, I guess you can. It's just, to me, that's one of those bizarre things. That's killed off, though. 3 shots. Ritchie then takes a hooking penalty. The Senators go to the power play, and they score on it. It's Norris with a second of the period from Tkachuk at 14:01. So you were only allowed to score in the first period if your name was Norris or if your name was Krause. That's it. That's all you're allowed to do. Tkachuk had assists on both of them. So Senators then press for the lead. Kessel takes a penalty, draws himself a bit of a crowd after that. Louder on the ice than I thought the fans were at this point too. It was so quiet. And I get it. I get that Ottawa fans wouldn't be loud, but this is almost bubble playoffs quiet here. And then they had ads for cars and gambling because it's what you have ads for during games. I will say this, when I'm watching a bunch of games, I much prefer the American commercials to the Canadian. The American commercials try to be funny. Sometimes they fail, although sometimes the commercials that fail to be funny can be the most entertaining because they're just awful. Canadian commercials are just sort of there. They're just sort of, I don't know, they're just sort of there, doing their thing, kind of background. And they get aggravating more than anything else. The Skip the Dishes commercials, which used to be my favorites, now not as much. So Tkachuk and Stützle can't bury one. Then Wedgwood, Snow Angels. Mosier and Ghost both end up saving a goal there. It basically would have crossed the line, but they said no. So after the first period, it is 2-2. To start the second period, well, the goal lights won't turn off, and I'm assuming it's because there were too many goals in the first period and you overloaded the goal lights. It's Ottawa; they're not used to that many goals, so they turn off the lights and then they talk to the coaches. The assumption was being made that meant that the lights might not work for the second period at all. They just had to basically just turn them off. 4 minutes denied first shift. Great start for the Sens. Another press by them at 2.5 minutes. At this point, I thought, they might not need to even run the Zamboni around the entire ice. You could just do the half that Arizona's played on because that's where the puck is all the time. Holden has a shot that's tipped wide. The Coyotes, no shots in 18 minutes of the game to that point. Yeah, they went over 18 minutes between shots, and it gets longer than that. Shots are 5-0 at 5 minutes. Shabbat has a rush chance that's saved. Another press by the Senators follows that. Wedgwood, had issues with the strap on his helmet and called out to the ref and nothing, so he just pulls his helmet off. Which is one of those things that I know people are kind of torn on whether or not that should be okay. I'll say this, that for safety reasons, there are times where that strap being loose is a major problem for a goaltender, so I totally understand it. There are goaltenders that I think kind of abuse that, but there are others that I don't think they do. There are some that definitely use it to get that whistle when their team's pinned down. They'll just, nod and fling the helmet off. So the counter gets up to 23 and a half minutes with no shots. The shots show as 10-0 at the half, and then all of a sudden, Coyotes have one shot. And I didn't hear the announcer say what that shot was, but all of a sudden, the Coyotes had been credited with a shot. I'll assume it was either a non-icing because you fired it from your own end and it actually hit the net, or it was something from center ice. It probably wasn't much of anything that they went, eh. And with shot totals in the NHL, I always take it with a bit of a grain of salt anyways, because, again, after a game, you can see the shot totals suddenly change by a lot. So, yeah, I thought it was a pity shot. Mosier has a rush chance that's denied on a pass from Krause. Tkachuk considered a Michigan. It certainly looked like he thought about it and didn't do it. Michelli fires one wide, and then Stützle's denied on a rush. Ritchie goes back to the box for hugging, pushing. Nick Ritchie. Nick Ritchie takes penalties. That was the Nick Ritchie that showed up tonight. So I don't think tonight's game necessarily helped his trade value should Arizona decide to flip him again at the deadline. I don't think it hurt it either. You're going to get penalties from Nick Ritchie. Third Sens power play. Loose puck is cleared from the Coyotes crease. And then they passed it back to Chabot. Krause stole it from Chabot. So at 16-12 on that turnover, a shorthanded goal for Arizona puts him in the lead. And keep in mind, the Coyotes really hadn't had very many opportunities. This was the 9th shot on net for the Coyotes, and it's their 3rd goal. And I feel bad for Gustafsson because none of them were bad goals, just his save percentage was not good tonight. Coyotes finish the kill. Watson tries to answer. Wedgwood saves there. Norris is denied, and the fans seem to get even quieter as we get to the end of that second period, and the score is 3-2 for Arizona. I can only imagine for Ottawa, a team that doesn't draw a lot of fans to start with, it's the Coyotes. And you look at the records of these teams, I can understand why you don't have great attendance for this one, right? So then they had bank commercials and travel commercials, and again, some of them get kind of obnoxious. Some of the bank commercials in Canada can get obnoxious, which again, comparing it to the American ones, where they at least try to make it funny. Yeah, the bank's going to rob you blind, but whatever. This commercial's entertaining. It's fine. And the travel commercials, again, we don't have Geico up here, so we don't get like the great Geico commercials. I'm always excited when it's a new Geico commercial, like the one with the Angry Birds. I think that one's hilarious. But we don't get that so much up here. So, third period, Chabot's denied in the first minute. And again, I'm doing the review this way because it's Arizona and Ottawa, so I figured do it a little different. So we get Chabot denied in the first minute. Wedgwood's kind of shaken up, but he stays in the play because without him, who knows where this game ends up and what the score might have been. So yeah, the Sens, the shots are 3-0 in their favorite 2.5 minutes. Sorry, just Jet was going to start chewing on a plastic bag on the floor, and that was going to be really loud. So, where am I? Here I am. Zone time was more than 2-1 in favor of the Sens. I'm pretty sure it stayed there all night. The offensive zone, they were in it a lot. They just could not score. Which, I guess I could do it. That's what she said. Anyways, all Sens, but they're behind. Coyotes press at 6.5 minutes, but on a rebound, Connor Brown would score to tie up the game from Tkachuk and Zub at 7:30. That brings up song 2 from Blur as their goal song, and the fans seem to come to life for 16 seconds. That's it. Schmaltz scores from Keller at 7:46. That's the 13th shot of the game for Arizona, and that's almost the last shot they had on goal. Absolutely. They had one more shot when there was a goaltender in the net, and that's at 7:46 of the third period. So really shows how lopsided this game was. Score is different. So Stützle fires one high. Ennis falls down on a rush chance because I guess he tripped over his feet. Post then for Stützle. Mosier and Wilson have a chat. It's the 100th time they show that Hyundai commercial. You know the Hyundai commercial. It's just some young woman in a car driving it from point A to point B, and they have this weird song in there, and then she gets out of the car to go into a restaurant, wherever she's going, and they just show it over and over and over again, and it makes you want to take a pencil and just jab it into various parts of your head. So they show that, and you guys know exactly, if you guys know, if you're Canadian, you know exactly which commercial I'm talking about. So the Sens press with 6 minutes left. Wedgwood saves there. The Coyotes press next shift, but they don't get any shots because they have this really nice clean ice sheet they don't want to ruin. Norris has a chance that's blocked as the Sens seek for a tie. They pull the goalie with 1:40 left. Stützle tips one wide, but there's no Senator there to get the puck. Mosier does get the puck. He gets it to Hayden. Hayden hits the empty net at 19:12. And that makes the score 5-3. And immediately after the end of the game, they go to the 101st showing during this game of that Hyundai commercial with the young lady driving the car. Does anybody buy a car based on those commercials? I mean, seriously. Anyways, Arizona wins 5-3. They go to 19-36-4, so they're almost to 20 wins, which is way more than we thought they were going to get at the start of the year. Ottawa 21-33-5 with the loss. Your 3 stars are Krause, Norris, and Wedgwood. The shots 15-6 in the first in favor of Ottawa, 17-3 Ottawa in the second, 11-6 Ottawa in the third. Final shots 43-15. And that includes the empty netter. So shots on goal 43-14 without the empty netter. Hits or power plays, both power plays look good because both penalty kills weren't. Arizona 1 for 2 and Ottawa 1 for 3. Hits 24-16 for Ottawa, so they out hit them, they outshot them. Wedgwood saves 40 out of 43. Gustafsson saves 10 out of 14. And again, I don't put this on Gustafsson. Just when Arizona got a chance, they rifled it. They did a good job of being smart with when they took their shots and where they took them from, and they scored and they won. So that game's done. Tomorrow night we're back into the absolute bonkers schedule. And so there you go. If you watch the game, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. If you directed that Hyundai commercial, you're a monster. We have to watch it 50 million times a day. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happen upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. If you got through this, thanks. The only game of the night, and it's Arizona-Ottawa. When I saw this on the schedule about a week ago, I was like, nobody's watching the review of that. So we'll see whether or not that's accurate. I also want to throw this in here too. The single game reviews I do on the weekend for the matinee games, I'm thinking about making that instead, just to incorporate them with the reviews at the end of the day. Just put those games later, do other videos during the day as well. And I think that'd be to the benefit of everybody, to myself, to the channel, and sure, maybe even the Hyundai commercial. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, I know there's other people that get aggravated and are probably like, yeah, I'm not the only one. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you again soon.